Okay, so with ratatouille, whatever you want to call it on here, when it comes to the liver, the big reason we see improvements and potential, downstream biomarkers suggesting that things are getting better in the area is because of the reduction of fatty liver disease. Now, this is a good thing. I'm not going to act like it's not going to be significant, but when it comes to the liver itself, a majority of things are going to be one of either two. So you're going to have someone with a fatty liver. Obviously, when you're getting obesity, you're just storing fat in places where you don't really want to, but you don't have any other spots to store them. So that's what's the reduction would come from in this specific case. And then you have actual toxins, right? Weakening the liver, stressing it. When you're spamming alcohol, you're spamming other things that are already ingesting into your body and having to be filtered out. Now, this is a great way of reducing that fatty liver, because part of what this one will do specifically as well is it will target that stuff a bit more. So anything visceral is going to be a little bit higher than the subcutaneous, just because typically that's stuff you don't want to be there. So that is why we see such a high reduction there. But attached to that, you'd see that in a normal deficit anyway, starting with the visceral and then going into the other stuff. This doesn't mean that the compound itself is some sort of, bulletproof for the liver. In fact, it's really only acting upon that one specific instance of liver disease. Now, when it comes to the other toxin side, I personally don't believe this is something that's going to be harming it. It's something where it shouldn't really be interacting in the liver in any other sort of way where it's a toxin. Of course, depending on where someone's sourcing it from, it could have the potential of having, heavy metals or other things which the liver has to work hard to filter through, but that's pretty rare if you're, picking it from a reputable source. The other side of things, obviously for the liver, most of the time, the best bet is just cutting out toxins. However, sometimes there's toxins you just can't get rid of. Maybe there's people on here who they're on cycle, they're taking something which is quite aggressive, and it's not as simple as saying stop drinking because they're kind of taking it for a different reason. Now, someone like that, that's when you start taking a look at glutathione or, other things which are just going to force your body to actually flush out those toxins a lot better and protect that liver.